Two lads hit the city, one already planning his summer grind, the other, well, he's Shugo. Shugo, cool as ice despite the blindfold, considers a karate dojo now that Pro-Life's benched him. His buddy burst that bubble quick. Dojos cost a fortune to launch, genius. Oh, but wait, steamed buns are calling, and some priorities just can't be ignored. While his pal makes a mad dash for snacks, Shugo calmly flags down their ride. Bam! Out of nowhere, goons snatch Shugo, yanking his tea right over his head. His friend, Mid-Bun Bliss, turns to a nightmare. Shugo's getting shoved into that very taxi. Oi, what's the big idea? He roars, his tasty treat forgotten on the pavement. The taxi vanishes, leaving him agape with dropped buns and a seriously hijacked bro. Inside, a now hooded Shugo is sandwiched between his grim-faced, uninvited escorts. Hooded Shugo, ever the cool customer, demands, "Who are you?" His captor yanks the tee off. "See for yourself," revealing Shugo's signature blindfold. A familiar, smirking face in the front seat greets him. "It's been a while, kid," as Shugo questions his presence. Flashback. A younger, earring-sporting Shugo stares intently, hinting at a shared past. Back in time, a blindfolded Shugo in a GI faces a barrage of doping accusations from the press. Despite the media storm, Shugo's expression remains resolute, a silent storm brewing. As Shugo walks away from the press, the smirking man from the taxi, also in a GI, watches with a knowing look. Suddenly, that same smirking man from the past reels back from a powerful, unseen strike. Shugo, blindfolded and wielding a wooden sword, looms over his accuser. "You planted the drugs, didn't you? Prepare for what's next." With the wooden sword raised high, Shugo prepares to deliver justice as his tormentor begs, "Please, forgive me!" His accuser, far from repentant, now screams, "You broke my leg, cost me everything!" The flashback ends and the taxi violently stops in a narrow, sun-drenched alley. Through the rearview mirror, the driver sneers, "Make sure he's comfortable." Shugo is promptly escorted out to meet his less-than-adoring fans, including one wielding a bat. Unbothered, Shugo, with a hint of power, coolly inquires, "Ready for another go?" One thug spills his sob story. Shugo's success apparently ruined their lives and his brother's career. "Enough talk, take him down!" orders the smirking man, unleashing his goons. Shugo, a picture of calm, raises his fists, prepared for the inevitable confrontation. The first goon throws a clumsy punch, easily sidestepped by our blindfolded hero. Shugo instantly retaliates, landing a precise strike on the second attacker, sending him reeling. Shugo stands coolly over the fallen goons, the bat clattering uselessly as their leader's hand trembles. "Damn!" the boss snarls, whipping out a knife in desperation as Shugo's pal watches, horrified. His friend screams a warning from the alley entrance. "Stop! The police will be here soon." The knife-wielding man lunges recklessly, aiming to end this now. Shugo, sporting a fresh scratch and a smirk, easily catches the attack. Not bad. With a swift, practiced move, he disarms his opponent, sending the knife flying. Another fluid takedown, and the former accuser is sent sprawling across the pavement. Defeated, the man can only look up as his weapon lies just out of reach. Shugo, eyes glinting, delivers a chilling ultimatum. "If you want to keep going, next time it won't just be your leg." As sirens close in, Shugo and his friend walk away, our hero lamenting that 2 years ago, even a world championship wouldn't have been a mere dream. Shugo reflects on a past championship win with his proud parents, a stark contrast to his current bandaged contemplation. His pal tries to cheer him up. "Well, I'm still able to spend time with my family now, so it's fine." But Shugo's mind is elsewhere. As they walk, Shugo sips his drink, while his friend suddenly looks back, a sense of unease creeping in. The friend reassures his mom on the phone, "Mom, I'm with Shugo right now," oblivious to two shadowy figures approaching Shugo. The figures reveal themselves, one taunting Shugo. "Hey, do you know why we didn't go to your house?" Shugo's eyes narrow, a dangerous aura flaring as he demands, "Did you do something to your family?" The long-haired man grins wickedly, yelling, "Go home and see for yourself," his friend calls out, sensing the sudden shift as Shugo processes the chilling implication. Pure shock hits Shugo as the words, "Your family," echo, his eyes wide with dawning horror. Shugo bolts, drink forgotten, his friend desperately calling after him as he sprints towards a potential disaster. His drink and shoe hit the pavement, marking Shugo's desperate, high-speed sprint. "Dad, Mom!" Shugo bursts through his home's door, his voice laced with pure dread. He finds a ransacked, eerily silent living room, his worst nightmare taking shape. A trembling finger swipes across a dusty windowsill. The house screams of a recent violent disturbance. "Your family?" The thug's sinister parting words echo, confirming their cruel game. A white-haired woman suddenly stands in the doorway. A stunned Shugo manages only a questioning, "Big brother?" "You're late, big brother," she sobs, collapsing into his arms, a storm of panic and relief. Her eyes, wide with terror, deliver the shattering news. "Mom was in a car accident and I don't know what to do." "Which hospital? Is Dad with her?" Shugo demands, already moving to race against the clock once more. She halts him, her voice a fragile whisper. He died last year, remember?" A forgotten grief crashing down. A flashback begins, a train pulling into a sunlit station signaling a departure. A younger, white-haired Shugo, ever so confident, announces his departure to his father, ready to take on the world. His father, beaming with pride, reassures him, "Don't worry about us, just work hard and make us proud." Shugo flashes a reassuring smile, promising, "Yeah, I'll contact you regularly," a vow soon to be broken by fate. A somber note hits. "At that time, I didn't know that this promise would never be fulfilled." His karate prowess landed him in a secret unit, enduring grueling training where all outside contact was forbidden. The present crashes back, a desperate cry of "Dad!" as the weight of forgotten grief resurfaces. 2 years into his secret life, an eternal farewell marked the devastating loss of his father. Shugo's hand trembles, clutching a cherished photograph of his smiling, now departed father. Crushed by regret in the ruined living room, he whispers, "If only I had come back sooner. I couldn't even see him one last time." His sister, ever resilient, offers a drink. "Let's go see Mom." Shugo, pulling himself together, gently pats her head. "Yeah, you're right." They arrive at the hospital, finding their mother unconscious and hooked up to life support. A nurse appears, delivering the grim news, "Pay up soon, or Mom's medicine stops." Kaidi, with a look of grim determination, reaches into her bag. To Shugo's shock, Kaidi suddenly bows deeply before the nurse, a desperate plea unspoken. "Kaidi, what's wrong?" Shugo asks, sensing her distress as she clutches the bag. She reveals a bag stuffed with cash, prompting Shugo's urgent question, "Where did this money come from?" "It's my tuition money," Kaidi confesses. "I can't abandon Mom." Kaide declares she'll quit school and work, hopeful now that Shugo's back as he looks on, speechless. Shugo reassures Kaidi, "You're right, I came back too. I have my discharge pay. I won't let you quit school." Taking her hand, Shugo declares, "Let's go make the payment," a new resolve in his eyes. The siblings stand at the hospital counter, ready to settle the immediate financial burden. Just then, a nurse approaches. "Are you the family of the patient in room 22? The attending physician is calling for you." They enter the doctor's office, a sense of foreboding filling the sterile room. The doctor turns, his expression serious as he invites them to take a seat. An X-ray reveals the grim truth. The lumbar vertebrae are severely fractured, so surgery is needed immediately, with a high chance of lasting complications. Kaidi gasps, the doctor adding that rehabilitation will also cost quite a lot. As the doctor urges them to discuss it, Shugo's gaze hardens with steely determination. Outside the hospital, the siblings face the daunting reality of their mother's condition and the mounting costs. Kaide, with unwavering resolve, tells Shugo, "Big brother, I really will work." Shugo pats her head, firmly stating, "Leave the medical expenses to me. You better study hard or I'll get angry." Overwhelmed with gratitude, Kaidi thanks him, and Shugo gently says, "Now, let's go home." After seeing Kaidi off, Shugo walks alone, his mind racing. What's the fastest way to make money? Holding his phone, Shugo muses, that guy might have some ideas, a plan forming. His friend answers the call, casually asking, "Hello, Shugo, what's up?" Shugo cuts to the chase. "There's some family stuff going on. Do you know any quick ways to make money?" His friend replies, "I do. I'll send it to you right now." A message pops up on Shugo's phone, an invitation to something called Mellow World. A flashy, blonde-haired man in a fur-trimmed coat declares, "You never thought such a game existed, right? It transcends time and takes us to the future." He gestures dramatically towards a sleek gaming pod. "Create your world with your power. If you buy this cocoon, you can enjoy the game while sleeping." The flashy announcer drops the bombshell. First prize is a cool 2 billion yen plus bonuses. Billionaire status is just a game away. Shugo, eyes shadowed with grim purpose, stares at his phone. This money-making game is a lifeline he has to grab. "A scam!" Shugo yells, disbelieving, but his friend on the line insists, "Wait, it's legit." His friend explains Mellow World's secretive launch, confirming the ads are real. People are already raking in millions. Rumor has it, this ultra-realistic game, where players hunt and toil, was bankrolled by bored, rich elites. They expected players to tire quickly of the in-game labor, like hauling water under a digital sun. But its shocking realism and actual cash rewards for missions made Mellow World an instant viral obsession. Seriously? Shugo presses, and his friend assures him it's all true, adding Shugo's fighting skills give him a massive edge. Shugo considers it, but then remembers the catch. The gaming cocoon costs 600,000 yen, another financial hurdle. His friend suddenly panics, "Wait, I'm playing too! If you join, I'm toast!" A testament to Shugo's potential. His friend strikes a deal. He'll foot the cocoon bill if Shugo carries him in-game. Shugo's in. Soon, Shugo finds himself at a house offered a bedroom, likely where his gaming journey begins. Kaidi spots a massive box arriving, and Shugo cryptically calls it an experiment to cover their mom's bills. The clock ticks ominously towards 10, signaling the start of Shugo's high-stakes venture. Shugo peeks out, warning Kaidi not to disturb him, leaving her utterly bewildered by his strange behavior. Inside the sleek gaming pod, Shugo prays his friend Kentaro wasn't just spinning a wild tale about Mellow World. With a determined glint, Shugo closes his eyes, ready to dive headfirst into the digital unknown. Green code cascades as Gento Shugo is installed, stats flashing, rank 0, but real-world dependent HP and SP. Shugo materializes, a lone figure standing starkly against a desolate, ruined cityscape. Welcome to Mellow World. He touches a jagged rock, marveling. It's hard. Feels like the real thing. The game's realism already hitting home. Shugo stretches, eager to test his combat prowess in this new digital body. With a swift movement, he launches a devastating high kick, shattering a wooden post. The impact sends splinters flying, a testament to his raw power even in virtual form. Almost like the real world, Shugo marvels, sensing an incredible dormant power within. He calls out, "System magic power," hoping to unlock more abilities. Suddenly, a tiny winged fairy materializes, hovering right before a surprised Shugo. "Welcome, player. I am the system spirit," the cheerful fairy announces. She explains he needs skills to use magic and that Mellow World's combat is split into long range and close range. The system spirit then gestures, ready to unveil the backstory of this immersive world. A holographic screen depicts futuristic soldiers in combat, narrating how humanity's peak development led to war. The system spirit reveals a grim past. Nuclear war decimated humanity, and irradiated animals mutated. These mutated beasts, now superpowered and aggressive, began to overrun human territories. But humans weren't left out of the evolutionary lottery. Survivors also developed enhanced strength, speed, and a mysterious energy. This newfound energy was dubbed magic power, and its wielders became known as new humans. The system spirit declares Shugo as a new human, must defeat mutated creatures and explore ruins to reclaim their world. With a flourish, the fairy concludes the epic tale. Their grand mission is to build a brand new civilization. "It's a free game, so please explore as you like," the system spirit chirps, winking encouragingly at Shugo. Shugo deadpans. "That's it? Explore is a bit too vague for a guy trying to pay hospital bills, don't you think?" He ponders aloud. "No magic without skills, no main mission. How am I supposed to rake in the yen here?" Suddenly, Shugo glances skyward, a winged silhouette catching his eye against the cloudy expanse. A monstrous bird, talons bared, plummets from the sky straight for Shugo. Shugo glances up, a smirk playing on his lips. "Danger already? This game doesn't mess around." Clenching his fists, he declares, "Bring it on! Time to show this bird what a national champion can do." The winged beast casts an immense shadow, dwarfing Shugo as it descends upon him. "Come on!" Shugo yells, eyes glinting with excitement, absolutely ready for this airborne challenge. With incredible agility, Shugo leaps and lands squarely on the giant bird's back. He grips its feathers, musing, "A mutated beast, huh? Definitely can't joyride these in reality." The enormous hawk takes to the skies, desperately trying to buck Shugo off with wild maneuvers. "Trying to shake me?" Shugo grins, holding on tight as they soar even higher. He yanks a handful of feathers. "Then it's an endurance contest!" The bird looks utterly flabbergasted by his audacity. The bird spirals wildly, trying to dislodge Shugo as they plummet through the sky. A colossal impact sends shockwaves through the air as they crash land. Shugo remains unfazed atop the dazed bird, now embedded in a freshly made crater. "Looks like I won," Shugo smirks, feeling an unfamiliar power coursing through him, perhaps magic. He muses that defeating monsters usually grants experience, a theory he's keen to test. Shugo pats the subdued beast. Did it acknowledge me as superior? You're Kuro now, pets are convenient. Kuro, now seemingly tamed, stands majestically behind Shugo, ready for his command. Suddenly, Kuro's eyes widen in utter shock, then sheer panic as if sensing imminent doom. Shugo turns, unconcerned, as Kuro lets out a mournful caw, feathers drifting away. Out of nowhere, a monstrous, glowing-eyed cat appears, casually holding the tiny Kuro in its jaws, dwarfing Shugo. Shugo tenses, knowing one wrong move against this colossal cat means he's dinner. The monstrous feline, Kuro still dangling from its maw, lets out a deafening roar that makes Shugo jump. A gigantic paw, armed with razor-sharp claws, slashes through the air with terrifying speed. The cat screeches again, its glowing eyes fixed on Shugo, clearly not pleased with the interruption. But the cat's attack is abruptly halted, its paw caught by an even larger unseen force. Surprise! A towering, red-eyed koala beast appears, sporting a medal, exclusive to Gento Shugo. Shugo, eyes wide with disbelief, mutters, "Exclusive? Isn't that a bit much for a welcome party?" The colossal koala glares down, its crimson eyes promising a world of hurt, completely dwarfing Shugo. With a furious snarl, the koala winds up, its massive paw ready to deliver a devastating blow. The giant koala smashes its fist into the ground, sending debris flying as Shugo barely dodges the earth-shattering impact. Shugo, recognizing the moves, exclaims, "This is Taekwondo!" The koala beast unleashes a lightning-fast back fist, sending Shugo reeling. Before he can recover, the monstrous koala launches a devastating leg sweep. Pinned against a tree, Shugo grits his teeth. "Damn, I'm cornered!" The colossal koala raises its paw, ready to bring down another crushing blow. An earth-shattering axe kick pulverizes the tree, but Shugo nimbly evades. He realizes the koala mirrors his own techniques, only bigger and faster, posing a serious challenge. Then, the beast executes a flawless hurricane kick, a whirlwind of furry fury. "Good, I dodged it!" Shugo exclaims, narrowly avoiding the massive clawed foot. The koala lands with a thud, momentarily stunned that its agile opponent vanished. Shugo braces as the koala's attack sends a shockwave of debris hurtling towards him. Overwhelmed, Shugo hits the deck, the force of the impact leaving him sprawled amongst the rubble. Lying battered, he questions his fate, his thoughts racing to his family and their needs. But despair quickly turns to resolve. I will live," echoes in the darkness. A fire ignites in Shugo's eyes, his determination blazing brighter than ever. Suddenly, he finds himself in an empty void, a lone spotlight illuminating him as he wonders, "Where is this?" He examines his hand, a strange, ethereal glow emanating from it, hinting at a new power. Looking around the mysterious space, Shugo's confusion deepens, searching for answers. A colossal beam of light erupts from where he lay, piercing the sky as even the giant koala looks on. Shugo's body, alongside a translucent echo of himself, begins to ascend within the radiant pillar. Shugo and his spectral twin rocket skyward, bathed in an otherworldly glow. High above, the ascent reveals a sprawling, unsuspecting city far below. His spirit form watches his own body, a silent passenger in this bizarre light show. Meanwhile, a mysterious fractured orb pulsates amidst the desolation, hinting at the source of this power. Now free of the light stream, Shugo's spirit observes his physical self being whisked away on a luminous current. That beam, carrying his body, then slams back to Earth, carving a path through the urban sprawl. Shugo's body lies inert on the ground, the aftermath of a rather dramatic re-entry. His spectral self ponders the unusual persistence of his physical form. This game plays by different rules. Abruptly, his spirit form is jolted, a new energy surging as it hovers over his fallen self. The ethereal echo begins to fade, merging back into his still form, a serene look gracing his features. Shugo's eyes snap open, a newfound clarity shining within them. He's back on his feet, feeling not just normal, but with senses sharper than ever. A test kit confirms it. His leg strength has also received a serious upgrade. A determined glint in his eye, Shugo stands ready, an unseen energy swirling around him. But look who's back. The colossal koala beast towers over him, its red eyes burning. Shugo smirks, unfazed. "Came all this way for me? Let's go for round 2 then." The koala roars, its massive paw already raised for another devastating strike. Unbelievably, Shugo catches the colossal paw, his own strength now clearly amplified. "Speed and power you have," Shugo grins, "but my technique is superior. I can handle this." He braces for impact, calculating, "I might lose an arm, but I'll land the first hit next." Shugo spots an opening, targeting the jaw as a direct line to the brain. He unleashes a vicious kick, connecting squarely with the colossal koala's chin. The beast stumbles, brain rattled, but Shugo knows it's not over yet and readies his next move. Leaping high, Shugo prepares to bring down a devastating heel drop. Bullseye. The heel drop smashes onto the koala's head with bone-jarring force. The giant koala is momentarily stunned, its massive head bowed from the impact. Shugo knows a headshot drains strength, and now he eyes the beast's vulnerable throat. Seizing the moment, Shugo drives a powerful strike towards the koala's exposed neck. A final, decisive blow lands, wreathed in dark, swirling energy. Shugo, exhausted but victorious, kneels as the shadowy essence of the defeated koala fades away. A tiny fairy congratulates Shugo on his rank up, complete with fully restored HP and MP. But this helpful sprite isn't just for show. It zaps Shugo with a beam, bestowing new knowledge. Shugo examines a holographic display. Soul Eat? So this skill consumes magic power, interesting. With a grin and a fist pump, Shugo declares, "All right, I'll learn it." He then gazes up at a radiant orb, a miniature sun hanging in the desolate sky. Golden light rains down, bathing Shugo in its empowering glow as he kneels to receive it. A system window pops up detailing his new rank 1 stats and the unique skill, Soul Eat, capable of stealing enemy skills or stats. Shugo marvels at his hands, feeling an incredible surge of power. "These are skills? I feel 5 or 10 times stronger." He throws a lightning-fast punch, brimming with newfound energy as he learns HP is life force and his is maxed out. Shugo now eyes a massive boulder, a perfect target to test his upgraded might. Shugo unleashes a devastating kick, and the massive boulder explodes into 1,000 pieces. He stares at his foot, the hyperrealism making him wonder, is this truly just a game? Suddenly, a faint sound catches his attention, a bead of sweat betraying his focus. The helpful fairy reappears, announcing, "You have a message from a friend." A holographic call pops up. It's his buddy, who's been trying to reach him in this mellow world. Shugo admits the game's realism is off the charts, then curiously asks how his friend located him. His friend reveals a crucial game mechanic. It uses your real name, making you searchable online. Intrigued, Shugo cuts to the chase. "All right, so how do I start making some cash in this world?" His friend displays a map, pointing to a nearby survival zone where money can be made, but with a word of caution. With a final warning about ferocious monsters en route, his friend signs off, leaving Shugo with a new destination. Shugo narrows his eyes, sensing his friend might be holding back some crucial details. Undeterred, he strides into the bleak landscape, eager to see what this survival zone truly offers. Elsewhere, 3 suited individuals sprint desperately along a riverbank, a vine-choked skyscraper looming ahead. One of them crouches in the reeds, eyes fixed on the shimmering water, a glint of hope in his gaze. A triumphant smirk spreads across his face as he spots his prize. "Fish!" he declares, thinking dinner is served. But the water explodes, revealing not a fish, but a monstrous fanged worm lunging towards him. The man screams, his triumphant moment turning into pure terror as the creature attacks. He's snatched up and flung through the air, his companions yelling, "It's a mutated leech, run!" As if summoned, more colossal leeches surge from the depths, their maws wide and hungry. The poor guy is quickly overwhelmed, ensnared by a writhing mass of mutated leeches. The poor guy desperately claws at the bank, but the mutated leech drags him relentlessly towards the water. Suddenly, a golden beam whisks the unfortunate man upwards, a clear sign his mellow world adventure just hit a snag. His 2 companions watch him ascend, grumbling about the game's brutal difficulty and questionable developer ethics. Just as they're complaining, a hand bursts from the water, startling the remaining survivor by the riverbank. Emerging from the depths is none other than Shugo, a mutated leech casually draped over his arm like a fashion accessory. Shugo, ever so cool, glances at the bewildered onlookers and asks, "Hey, is this the 1010 survival zone?" One of the men panics, warning Shugo about the life-draining leech, utterly baffled as to why he's completely fine. With a smirk, Shugo flexes, dark energy flaring around him, his shirt mysteriously gone, much to the shock of the onlookers. He then cheekily tells them the leech is just squishy and easily handled if you've got the muscle to block its bite. To prove his point, Shugo clenches his fist, dark power crackling as he effortlessly deals with the creature. The blue-capped onlooker's eyes turn to stars, already a Shugo fanboy declaring, "He's definitely going to be big." Now in adorable chibi form, the fanboy eagerly offers to guide a shirtless chibi Shugo. "The survival zone is ahead. I'll guide you." Their destination looms, the 102 survival zone, a derelict skyscraper reclaimed by nature's relentless vines. Inside, a formidable pink-haired woman with a whip stands over 2 subdued men, chiding their feeble attempts at rebellion. With a sharp crack of her whip, she lays down the law, defy her again and they're out. One of the men gripes about the shoddy game, complaining the only missions are tedious chores, not the adventure he signed up for. The whip wielder scoffs, "I make the rules here. How else will you rank up without missions or fighting monsters?" Fueled by frustration, the man smashes his fist into a rock, roaring, "Don't mess with me!" He continues his meltdown, shouting there's no way he can beat the monsters and he's at his breaking point. Unimpressed, the pink-haired woman coolly retorts with a devastatingly simple truth. "That's because you're weak." The whip wielder smirks. "Look, some people actually fight monsters and survive." And just like that, Shugo strolls in, shirtless and casually hauling a mountain of defeated leeches. He coolly asks the pink-haired leader, "Is this the spot for trading monster loot for points and gear?" A sly grin spreads across her face. "Not bad, newbie," she purrs, clearly impressed. She offers a sweet deal for his 10 leeches, 100 XP and 10,000 coins, then asks if he's game for more missions. Shugo can't believe his luck. Easy money like this? It's a dream. And eagerly asks for the next task. She tasks him with hunting more monsters, as the others are too chicken, mentioning a mutated Leech King whose defeat promises peace. The rewards are hefty, 10k XP, 300k M coins, and a rare weapon, even offering a glowing sword as an upfront bonus. Shugo eyes the blade. "A weapon?" To which she confirms, "That's right, we sell and forge them here." She then breaks down weapon ranks from normal to legendary, explaining coins are proof of hard work, more coins. Shugo, now chibi, eyes the gifted sword with a hilariously unimpressed expression, much to the leader's surprise. She snaps back to full size, whip in hand. "Are you even listening, rude newbie?" As Shugo notes this, AI is unusually aggressive. "Don't you dare lump me with low-level AI!" she seethes. "Accept the mission or else!" Her eyes blaze red as she looms over Chibi Shugo, threatening, "You'll become prey to this whip too!" The fanboy nervously urges Shugo, "Go quickly, angering Lady Charlotte is a bad idea." But Shugo remains unfazed. "Some guys thought she was just pretty AI and messed with her," the fanboy whispers, hinting at their painful lesson. "Result, they all got pummeled," he adds. Lady Charlotte's rule is simple, obey or get booted. Suddenly a whip cracks and the fanboy cries out as he's struck from behind. In a flash of light, Shugo's newfound guide is beamed skyward, another player unceremoniously ejected. Shugo stares in disbelief. One hit? Is an administrator even allowed to just eliminate players like that? Lady Charlotte, whip in hand, warns the remaining grunts, "Next time you badmouth me, you'll suffer worse than death." She looms over them, demanding, "Your answer?" And they stammer a terrified, "Yes!" With a dismissive wave, Charlotte orders the cowed men, "Now hurry back to work." As she walks away, Shugo muses, "Strange AI. The way she gets angry is just like a human." Suddenly, a hand claps Shugo on the shoulder, startling him. Shugo reacts instantly, slamming the unseen individual to the ground with a painful thud. "Oh, it's Kentaro," Shugo says coolly. Sorry, I just reacted reflexively." Kentaro, nursing his shoulder, groans, "You're as strong as a monster. I'm rank 4, you know." Shugo eyes his friend suspiciously. "You had some ulterior motive for inviting me to this game, didn't you? Tell me honestly." Kentaro grins sheepishly. "Found out? I punched an instructor and got forcibly discharged. You should be able to figure it out." Kentaro smirks, revealing he's on official orders from the country to investigate this very game. He admits he roped Shugo in, betting on his unique senses to pick up on the game's unsettling weirdness. Kentaro explains Melloworld's hyper-realism and combat are beyond current tech, his own hands glowing with in-game power. This game's global, Kentaro reveals, but its unmonitored nature has every nation on high alert. Turns out Kentaro's not just any player, he's the captain of the official investigation team, much to Shugo's surprise. Shugo Evercool smirks. "Figured as much. So what's my part in this grand scheme?" Kentaro advises Shugo to just play and share any intel, as they're still deep in the dark. "Got it," Shugo says, already turning to leave. "Well, I'm off to tackle that mission then." As Shugo heads off, a new operative appears, delivering grim news to Kentaro. "Captain, one team member just perished in the real world." Kentaro learns the death left no physical trace, realizing this game's dangers are far more insidious than they ever imagined. The operative suggests involving Gento-san, a world champion, but Kentaro is hesitant to drag him too deep. Kentaro gravely warns that knowing too much about this game means there's no turning back. Elsewhere, a dog-like creature dangles precariously over water, clearly bait for something lurking below. With a splash, the bait hits the water, its wide eyes hinting at the danger it's in. Suddenly, 3 monstrous leeches erupt from the depths, their gaping maws ready to strike. The leeches ensnare the hapless creature, their slimy bodies coiling around their prey. But this bait bites back, sinking its teeth into one of the attacking monstrosities. The water churns violently as the leeches thrash, parts of them seemingly torn in the struggle. The dog creature is suddenly yanked upwards, escaping the immediate chaos below, looking utterly stunned. Then, a colossal leech, the mutated Leech King itself, emerges majestically, dwarfing the tiny bait. Shugo, concealed by the riverbank, smirks as the massive Leech King finally reveals itself. With his new sword gleaming, Shugo coolly taunts the beast. "Come a little closer." Suddenly, one of the smaller leeches takes a heavy hit to the head from an unseen force. The remaining leeches thrash wildly in the water, clearly agitated by the surprise attack. More impacts land, sending shockwaves through the monstrous creatures as they're systematically targeted. Shugo whips his head around, a distinct sound catching his attention. This is a rifle? His eyes dart to a distant clifftop, spotting a lone figure silhouetted against the sky. It's Lady Charlotte, perched like a hawk, expertly aiming a high-caliber sniper rifle. A projectile zips through the air with deadly precision, heading straight for its mark. The Leech King recoils as the shot slams directly into its massive head. The Leech King rears back in agony, its massive form contorting from the powerful shot. With a huge splash, the wounded beast dives back into the water, and Shugo can only watch, stunned. "Damn, it's getting away!" Shugo fumes. "Who stole my prey?" He kneels by the water, musing that the escaped intelligent leeches will surely cause more trouble later. Shugo glances up at the distant clifftop. Who was it that interfered earlier? Lady Charlotte stands confidently on the cliff, rifle in hand. "I was just about to finish off the Leech King." Her rifle dematerializes as she declares her spot safe, ready to leisurely hunt and level up. Suddenly, Charlotte's sharp eyes catch something in the distance. "Oh?" She spots a trail of dust kicking up through the trees. Is there a large monster around? Nope, it's just Shugo, blazing through the forest, marveling at how magic enhances his speed. Shugo, impressed by his own speed, hopes the mysterious sniper hasn't vanished from the clifftop. Fueled by magic, he scoffs at leisurely climbs. This is how games should be as he leaps. He scales the sheer cliff face with superhuman bounds, leaving small craters with each push-off. Alerted by the commotion, Lady Charlotte whips around, a startled cry escaping her lips. Shugo makes a dramatic entrance, landing directly in front of the surprised Lady Charlotte. "What? Who?" Charlotte stammers, taken aback by his sudden ground-shaking arrival. Shugo, ever composed, casually asks, are you the sniper from earlier?" Charlotte's eyes narrow, her hand crackling with blue energy as she prepares for a confrontation. Suddenly, a pistol materializes in her hand, aimed squarely at Shugo as she warns him to stay back. Shugo, hands up, tries to de-escalate. "Calm down! I just wanted to meet the amazing shot who sniped from 300 meters. Despite Shugo's calm words, Charlotte's eye widens in alarm as she takes a firm step. "No!" she screams, wildly firing her pistol, clearly not a fan of surprise guests. Shugo, quick on his feet, dodges the errant shot that smashes into a nearby rock. He muses, she missed at this range? How'd she nail that leech from so far away then? Charlotte keeps firing, yelling, "Don't come near me!" Her aim is still all over the place. Shugo, seeing no other option, decides, "Can't be helped, I'll have to calm her down first," as blue energy gathers. With a swift, glowing slash, Shugo neatly disarms Charlotte, her pistol clattering apart in midair. Disarmed and defeated, Charlotte sinks to her knees, looking up at Shugo, who now has the upper hand. Shugo, cool as ever, casually asks, "Will you listen to me now?" Flustered, Charlotte clutches her clothes, exclaiming, "Pervert! What are you planning to do?" Shugo, completely flustered, insists, "What a misunderstanding, just listen, or else..." With a menacing glint in his eye and sword at the ready, Shugo warns, "I'll kill you," to which a terrified Charlotte meekly agrees. 30 minutes later, the clifftop mood is decidedly calmer, with Shugo and Charlotte now in a civil discussion. Charlotte, finally grasping the situation, clarifies, "So you baited the Leech King, and I swiped your prize?" Shugo confirms her kill steal, adding, "And since it got away, you need to take responsibility." Charlotte blushes, misinterpreting responsibility, while Shugo yells, "That's not what I meant!" Face-palming, Shugo clarifies he wants her help to hunt the Leech King, exasperated by her wild assumptions.
"You mean form a party?" Charlotte asks, to which Shugo coolly replies, "You could say that."
Shugo formally introduces himself, "I'm Gento Shugo. My specialty is Taekwondo," extending a hand. She reciprocates, "I'm Himekawa Ayana. My skill is weapon manufacturing," as they shake on their new alliance. Shugo, impressed by Ayana's honesty, connects the dots. Weapon manufacturing? So you made that rifle? Ayana proudly confirms, "That's right," as a holographic blueprint of her sniper rifle materializes beside her. With the actual rifle now in hand, Ayana's demeanor shifts. "I learned shooting in the past, so I can be helpful." Shugo notes her instant transformation. A sly grin spreads across Shugo's face. He's found a capable ally. Well then, let's make a plan. The plan in action. Shugo dangles precariously from a tree branch, live bait over the murky water. It doesn't take long. 2 monstrous leeches surge from the depths, snapping at the tempting target. The leeches thrash wildly, creating a chaotic splash as they lunge for their prey. Still hanging, Shugo's eyes gleam with anticipation. It's here! The Leech King approaches. Shugo lays out the strategy. This time I'll be the bait. You take care of the small fry. The Leech King will come if it thinks they can't kill us. With a confident smirk, Shugo declares, "If we combine our strength, we can definitely defeat it." Shugo leaps into action, rope-like energy swirling. "I won't let it escape this time." But surprise! A colossal leech far bigger than the others bursts from the water, dwarfing Shugo. Oh crap, Shugo thinks, realizing this new monstrosity is on a whole other level. In a flash, the massive maw engulfs Shugo, pulling him into the watery depths. The giant leech rears back, seemingly victorious after its quick snack. Ayana, watching from the shore, scoffs, "Getting swallowed on the first move. Get it together." Suddenly, the leech thrashes violently in the water, and Ayana's eyes widen. "No way!" Inside the beast's mouth, Shugo struggles, prying the massive jaws apart. "I won't be swallowed so easily." The leech recoils in discomfort, but Shugo knows he's in a tight spot. "Damn, in this state, I can't dodge!" As the monster thrashes, Shugo braces himself, caught precariously within its snapping jaws. The colossal leech thrashes wildly, trying to dislodge its uncooperative meal. Ayana, through a projection, urges Shugo to escape, but he's already sizing up his massive captor. "Just shoot it like this!" Shugo yells, much to Ayana's holographic horror. With a grin, Shugo assures her, "Don't worry, I have a plan," while still wrestling the beast's maw. The giant leech rears back, launching Shugo skyward while he's still prying its jaws open. Seizing the moment, Shugo acrobatically launches himself out of the monster's mouth. He tumbles through the air, the massive leech still a looming threat below. Shugo makes a perfect landing, gracefully touching down on the water's surface. With a fierce grin, Shugo summons his glowing blade, shouting, "Now!" He charges across the water, sword poised, ready to take on the towering Leech King. Shugo soars through the air, blade aimed true at the colossal Leech King. With a mighty downward slash, Shugo's sword bites deep into the monster's hide. The Leech King rears back in agony, Shugo still clinging to its massive form as it erupts from the water. Undeterred, the beast lunges forward, attempting to crush Shugo with its immense body. Shugo expertly uses his sword to anchor himself, grinding against the creature's tough exterior. He slides down the Leech King's length, sword carving a path as he goes. The wounded Leech King thrashes violently in the water, its reign of terror clearly ending. Ayana, appearing on a holographic screen, anxiously asks, "Did we do it?" Shugo, catching his breath, flashes a triumphant smile. "Subjugation successful!" Back on land, Shugo and Ayana stand proudly beside the subdued Leech King, a testament to their teamwork. Shugo, ever impatient, urges Ayana to get a move on, while she awkwardly hesitates atop their vanquished foe. With a blindfold now on, Shugo sighs, "Geez, can't be helped," as Ayana watches him puzzled. Shugo effortlessly hoists the massive Leech King, prompting a shocked Ayana to question his sudden heavy lifting. He casually explains they're just reporting the mission, telling her not to overthink his brute strength display. Ayana, touched by his actions, offers a sincere thank you, still a bit flustered. Shugo brushes off her gratitude, stating, "We fought together, so there's no need for thanks." Visibly agitated, Ayana insists, "That's not it," her hands waving in protest. She begins to share a painful memory, rifle in hand. "Long ago, I formed a party once." Ayana confesses her past failing. "But when I got close to monsters, I froze, unable to even pull the trigger." A dark flashback reveals her past torment, recounting how mockery and paranoia followed her battlefield paralysis. Ayana's flashback intensifies, revealing her hands shook so badly she even hit her own teammates. The devastating outcome: she was kicked out of her party and has been hunting solo ever since. Alone in the wild, she found peace, her hands steadied, never dreaming she'd team up again. Back in the present, Ayana eyes Shugo, still blindfolded and carrying the leech. "What's wrong? Why did you suddenly stop?" Shugo, ever confident, grins. "That's a good thing. I'm close combat, you're long range. We'll make a great party. But Ayana's old fears resurface, her expression etched with worry. But I might become a burden again. Don't worry, Shugo declares, still hefting the beast. I'll take care of all enemies that get close. Besides, if they did, your old melee fighters were incompetent. With a knowing smirk, Shugo cuts through her doubts with a single powerful word, strong. Shugo, effortlessly carrying the massive leech, urges her onward. Come on, let's go. If we don't hurry, it'll be night. Ayana reflects. He's not physically massive, but for a fleeting moment she felt more secure with him than any past ally. Ayana, fired up by Shugo's confidence, shouts, yeah, and sprints off, leaving him with the giant leech. From atop a rock, a new imposing woman observes, looks like not all newbies are trash. Shugo and Ayana present the subdued Leech King as the woman asks, you already defeated them? Nearby, 2 other hunters are stunned. No way! You took down both Lake Masters together? While a third urges them to just gather materials. Shugo turns as a new figure approaches with his crew, announcing, finally here. Now Shugo and Ayana find themselves encircled by this rather unfriendly-looking party. Shugo, ever cool, directly asks the newcomers, what do you guys want? Their leader smirks. You know what we want, right? Quietly hand over the Leech King and disappear. Shugo calls out to the woman on the rock. Hey, administrator, what about maintaining order? She coolly replies that outside the 10 survival zone, she won't get involved. The rival leader grins triumphantly. That's how it is. Hand it over quickly. Otherwise... The rival leader flashes a sinister grin, his threat hanging heavy. We'll kill you. Shugo, ever observant, coolly asks how the rival plans to split 2 Leech Kings among his many goons. With an even wider, greedier smirk, the rival declares, of course they're all mine! Shugo, completely unfazed, fires back, why the hell should I give them to you? The rival, now looking utterly unhinged, licks his lips. Because I have the most money. He proudly presents his hired goons, a bandit group ready to relieve Shugo of his prize, taunting, can commoners beat the rich? Shugo lets out a weary sigh. Wherever you go, it's always money, money. The rival leader cackles, declaring commoners are mere nutrients and disposable pawns for their amusement. Shugo's eyes narrow. I don't like that attitude, adding, well, whatever. I understand perfectly what needs to be done. The standoff is clear. Shugo and Ayana are encircled, the massive Leech King a silent witness to the brewing confrontation. Shugo, still blindfolded and hefting the Leech King, has the rival goons utterly perplexed by his calm demeanor. With a sudden, mighty swing, Shugo uses the Leech King like a colossal club, sending several bandits flying. The rival leader, Morioka, gapes in disbelief, sputtering, No way! You're going to take on all these numbers? Shugo coolly retorts, from what you said earlier, I just need to finish you all off here. Here, it's your turn, pointing the leech directly at Morioka. Morioka shoves a burly underling forward, yelling, to do it! Finish him off! There's a bonus if you defeat him! The muscle-bound goon cracks his knuckles, boasting, I've been learning martial arts since age 8 and became a karate champion at 10. I'll take down this small fry in one hit. Before the goon can even blink, Shugo casually swats him with the Leech King, sending him soaring. The karate champion is out cold, his spirit comically floating away as Morioka stammers, it really was one hit. Shugo, unimpressed, swings the Leech King once more, aiming straight for the terrified Morioka. Looming over the now cowering leader, Shugo cracks his knuckles, a dangerous glint in his eyes. Now it's your turn, Morioka. Wasn't it? Morioka, suddenly a coward, clings to Shugo's leg, begging for mercy, a stark contrast to his earlier bravado. Shugo, utterly disgusted by Morioka's previous taunts, clenches his fist, his blood boiling at the memory. As Shugo swings, Morioka dissolves into a shadow, narrowly evading the devastating punch. Shugo, momentarily surprised, watches the shadow of Morioka attempt a swift escape. But Shugo's too quick, pivoting and throwing a blind punch towards the fleeing shadow. Caught you! Shugo smirks, grabbing Morioka by the hair, who stunned his shadow skill was countered. Shugo coolly explains he deduced the limits of Morioka's shadow movement, proving his theory correct. With Morioka now utterly terrified, Shugo announces it's time to pay for those arrogant remarks. A swift, powerful kick from Shugo sends the cowering Morioka sky high. Morioka sails through the air, hilariously lamenting the game's balance and his goons' incompetence. Morioka plummets from the sky, his ooh-wah echoing his rapid descent from arrogance. Far below, an overgrown, derelict skyscraper awaits his unscheduled landing. Shugo casually dusts his hands. One down, as Morioka becomes a distant speck heading for impact. Ayana celebrates their mission success with the administrator, thrilled by the incoming XP and 300,000 M coins. The administrator, perched regally, offers them their next choice: item collection or monster hunting, both rewarding. She further reveals they've earned 1,000 achievement points each, unlocking the crucial in-game store. Shugo, ever inquisitive, questions the origin of such generous coin rewards. The administrator's demeanor instantly chills, her whip cracking a silent warning against prying too deep. With a menacing glare, she threatens Shugo with a living hell for further questions, to which he wisely concedes. Shugo internally reflects on the peculiarities of this world. What a strange game. Ayana muses that this game's more about threats than treats, a far cry from straightforward fun. Shugo, ever chill, suggests they just team up officially, proposing they register as friends to hunt together. A hint of a blush graces Ayana's cheeks as she readily agrees to his partnership. The scene shifts, showing a rather ordinary, slightly weathered apartment building in the real world. Back from the game, Shugo marvels at his lack of fatigue, crediting some seriously advanced modern tech. Now out of his gaming gear, Shugo spots his smartphone resting on a nearby table. The phone screen lights up, displaying a crisp 6:04 a.m. and a notification: 3 10,000 M coins successfully transferred. Shugo picks up the device, realizing the game's earnings are real-world cash, and plans to cover some medical bills. He enters a dining room, finding a meal thoughtfully left for him on the table. A sweet note from his sister Kaidi accompanies the food, urging him to eat and take care, complete with a cute doodle. Shugo, gazing thoughtfully, vows Kaidi can focus on studies. He'll handle everything at home. A simple laundry basket offers a glimpse into the everyday life he's now determined to support. Elsewhere, Ayana washes away the intensity of their recent mission in a steamy shower. Emerging refreshed and wrapped in a towel, she dries her vibrant red hair. She then settles into her gaming chair, still towel-clad, ready for her own kind of grind. "Hello, viewers," Ayana announces with a smile. "It's time for Ayana's game stream. Send coins if it's interesting." Her stream lights up with first-person shooter action, her character navigating a European-style battlefield. The screen shows her prowess, taking down multiple enemies in a different, more industrial combat zone. "Triple kill!" Ayana winks at her audience, confidently asking, "How's that? Amazing, right?" Her chat explodes with adoration. Amazing! She's so beautiful! And even a fan wanting to be shot by her. Ayana, utterly drained from her streaming marathon, sighs for a moment of peace. Signing off with a smile, Ayana bids her viewers farewell, oblivious to a sinister shadow lurking just behind her. As she stretches, a sudden movement catches Ayana's eye, a flicker of unease dawning. A hulking, red-eyed stalker suddenly appears, chillingly declaring, "Found you! My Ayana-chan!" Ayana recoils in terror as the intruder reaches out, his reassurances doing nothing to calm her fear. The creepy man smirks, boasting he's manipulated the surroundings so her screams will be silenced. Towering over a petrified Ayana, he menacingly suggests they're about to have some real fun. His intentions become terrifyingly clear as his shadowy form advances, promising she'll understand everything soon enough. Just as hope seems lost, Ayana's phone suddenly rings on the desk, a beacon in the darkness. Ayana desperately answers, shouting her location, as a familiar voice on the line promises immediate rescue. Ayana gasps, a spark of hope. "That voice, it's Shugo!" The stalker's shadow falls, Ayana internally screaming, "How did he get my number?" "Oh right, the game's friend system." "A man's voice!" The stalker snaps, brutally striking Ayana, her phone sent flying. Her lifeline skids across the desk, the stalker accusing her of secret rendezvous. Ayana crashes to the floor, his delusional rant about trampled feelings filling the air. Her vision blurs, a desperate thought. "No, my consciousness." "Now the obstacle is gone!" The stalker leers, tearing his shirt. "Become mine!" But hold on, we jump back 30 minutes earlier to a vibrant city scene. Shugo, cool as ever, strolls downtown, casually noting a news alert about rising stalker incidents. He's actually watching Ayana's stream replay, observing, "So that's the trick to her sharpshooting skills." Shugo's eyes narrow, a sudden chilling realization dawning as he watches Ayana's stream replay. Hold on, he thinks, could that shadow be the stalker from the news? Ayana's not built for this. Panic flickers across Shugo's face, then a flash of inspiration. Kentaro, he can help! He immediately calls his police contact, Kentaro, urgently requesting Ayana Himikawa's phone number. Kentaro, ever efficient, taps into the police system, quickly locating the streamer's details. "A stalker might be in her house right now," Shugo exclaims, demanding the number immediately. With Ayana's number secured, Shugo dials, his heart pounding. "Pick up, please pick up!" Ayana answers, screaming her address, and Shugo instantly promises, "Got it, Himikawa, I'm on my way, just hold on." His expression hardens with resolve. That's right. Wait for me, Ayana. Shugo sprints through the city, relaying Ayana's location to Kentaro. Himekawa's in danger. Hurry! Shugo blazes through the streets, a blur of motion, desperately trying to reach Ayana in time. He hilariously tries to flag down a taxi, arms flailing, but it zips right past him. Whoa, Shugo mutters, realizing the game's given him a serious speed and power boost, much to a taxi driver's shock. Gazing up at a skyscraper, Shugo calculates H District is 3 kilometers away, a straight shot if he goes over buildings. His eyes narrow, a mental map locking onto the most direct, albeit unconventional route. That way, he declares, spotting Ayana's apartment building in the distance. Shugo wonders if his newfound power is just imagination, but if it's real, he can definitely make it. With a cheeky apology, Shugo uses a passing taxi as a launch pad, vaulting skyward. The bewildered taxi driver stares, thinking he's stumbled onto a movie set as Shugo scales the building. Shugo becomes a parkour master, sprinting across rooftops with newfound agility, closing in on Ayana. Shugo makes a superhero landing on Ayana's building, shouting, "I'm here!" Inside, Ayana slowly regains consciousness, the stalker's creepy face the first thing she sees. "Damn pervert!" Ayana yells, disgusted as the stalker gloats over her personal items. She then realizes the horrifying truth. She's bound and at the mercy of her captor. "How did you find me? How did you get in?" Ayana demands, met with the stalker's chilling smirk. He brags about piecing together her location from her stream, delusionally calling it fate. The stalker then claims divine powers, manipulating objects as he declares them a chosen couple. He pulls out a ring, escalating his terrifying fantasy with an unwanted proposal. "Become my wife," he pleads, promising her everything, while Ayana looks utterly repulsed. "Let go! You're not my type at all!" Ayana retorts, stunning the stalker with her defiance. Enraged by Ayana's defiance, the stalker's eyes blaze red. "You don't understand my inner self." "Then by force!" he snarls, lunging towards Ayana, intent on showing her his burning passion. Suddenly, a heroic kick shatters the window, sending the stalker tumbling away. Shugo vaults in through the broken glass, coolly announcing, "Phew, somehow I made it in time." "Who are you?" the floored stalker demands, as our hero stands protectively before Ayana. His eyes glowing menacingly, the stalker seethes. "I can't forgive you for interrupting my time with Ayana-chan." "I'll tie you up," he roars, a sinister purple aura erupting as he attacks Shugo. Our hero yelps, Hey, what is this?" as an unseen force suddenly binds him. "Be careful," Ayana screams, revealing the stalker's terrifying ability. "He can manipulate objects." The rescuer strains as his own shirt twists tight, a victim of the stalker's bizarre power. The stalker smirks. "It's useless. I won't let anyone interfere with me and Ayana-chan." But Shugo isn't having it. "Don't think you can tie me up," he bellows, flexing and shattering the invisible bonds. With the hero's power surge, even the ropes binding Ayana snap apart, freeing her. "It's me, your partner Gento Shugo," he declares smoothly, holding the broken restraints. "I came to rescue you." And Ayana whispers her thanks. Unforgivable. Unforgivable. The stalker's face darkens with fury. "Why are you interfering?" He then unleashes his true power, a terrifying array of levitating knives suddenly filling the room. "What is this, a superpower?" Ayana gasps, recalling the stalker's bizarre claim of power from God. As the stalker readies his attack, Ayana boldly tells him off again, "I said you're not my type." Ouch! Shugo quips her words are sharper than any knife, as the stalker reels from the brutal honesty. "You toyed with my feelings!" The completely unhinged stalker screams, "I'll destroy this whole world!" launching his deadly projectiles. With knives hurtling, Shugo shoves Ayana to safety, a wardrobe bravely taking the hits. Unfazed by the impromptu knife rack, Shugo turns his steely gaze back to the deranged stalker. In a flash, Shugo closes in, grabbing the stalker's wrist to halt any further divine interventions. "Got you," Shugo smirks. "Now you can't use that weird power from before, can you?" With a swift move, Shugo slams the struggling stalker to the floor, asserting his dominance. Pinned but defiant, the stalker glares, a faint purple aura flickering around his finger. He's not done yet. Suddenly, a lone knife levitates, taking aim straight at Shugo's unsuspecting back. Ayana lets out a horrified "no" as she sees the imminent danger to her heroic rescuer. In that critical moment, Ayana herself is enveloped in a stunning blue light, a colossal armed spectral guardian appearing behind her. Both Shugo and the stalker are left utterly speechless, staring in disbelief at Ayana's sudden, incredible transformation. Ayana's ethereal guardian takes aim, a brilliant blue energy orb crackling in its hand. The stalker's face contorts in terror, screaming, "Stop!" at the sudden, overwhelming power. With a flash, the spectral sniper unleashes a colossal beam of pure energy. The blast rips through the building, the shockwave stunning Shugo and the villain below. On the streets, horrified onlookers stare upwards at the unbelievable destruction unfolding. Shugo surveys the neutralized stalker, admitting that incredible power almost got him too. As the celestial glow fades, Ayana sways, weakened by the immense energy she unleashed. Our hero swiftly catches Ayana as she faints, the ordeal finally catching up to her. Ayana awakens with a throbbing headache, murmuring about a strange dream, her memory of events unclear. "It's me again," a smirking man declares from the doorway. "Surprised, Shugo?" Shugo, ever the protector, demands answers from the newcomer. "Kentaro, what exactly is going on here?" Kentaro, cool as a cucumber amidst the chaos, declares Ayana's trashed apartment inconvenient and beckons them to follow. Their impromptu field trip takes them to a secluded, unassuming warehouse, a far cry from a cozy apartment. Inside, the trio walks through a surprisingly spacious and modern facility, a stark contrast to its exterior. Kentaro leads them deeper, towards a sleek, high-tech door that screams, "Top secret." "We're here!" Kentaro announces, as Ayana gasps, "What is this place?" clearly unprepared for what's next. The door slides open to reveal a futuristic chamber, lined with rows upon rows of mysterious pods. Kentaro offers refreshments, casually mentioning this high-tech lair is his Special Forces unit. He then drops a bombshell, Ayana's incredible power surge, straight out of the game, and these pods are key. The plot thickens as Kentaro admits the origin of this reality-bending game, Mellow World, remains a total mystery. Kentaro reveals the shocking truth. Mellow World skills are bleeding into reality, with 30 already confirmed. He continues, explaining some new power users go wild, and his unit studies a mysterious substance in their bodies, the very source of these abilities. Shugo's eyes widen as Kentaro drops another bombshell. This power-granting substance is in every Mellow World player. With more players awakening, Kentaro declares a new world transformation is coming, and his unit was formed to lead the charge, prompting Shugo to ask if they're being recruited. Kentaro smirks, well aware of Shugo's prowess, noting how latecomers to the game are surprisingly powerful. He praises Shugo's combat talent, confirms Ayana has also awakened, and states their unit will be the first to master these new powers, making Shugo wonder if they're now national assets. Kentaro confirms the nation sees Mellow World as a world-changing golden ticket, but Shugo, ever practical, smirks and brings up his family's financial needs. With a flourish, Kentaro promises the country will cover all expenses, even guaranteeing Kaidi's university admission and top-tier instructors. "Sold!" Shugo clasps Kentaro's hand, declaring, "I'm in," as a new partnership is forged. But just as things settle, Ayana nervously interjects, "Something changed on my panel. Is this normal?" catching Shugo off guard. Shugo stares intently as Ayana's game panel reveals a massive 300% boost in experience points. Ayana is baffled. "My EXP jumped to 300%, but I haven't logged in since yesterday." She gasps. "Could it be from dealing with that creep?" While Shugo coolly observes her realization. Shugo quizzes Kentaro, "So this game rewards taking people out?" But Kentaro claims it's not usually possible. Kentaro elaborates, defeating awakened individuals, not ordinary folk, grants massive EXP, a dangerous incentive. Shugo notes awakened individuals are still rare, their encounter a fluke, but more are bound to surface. Clenching his fist, Shugo ponders the shadowy mastermind behind this reality-bending, terrifying game. Kentaro claps Shugo's shoulder. "No time for anger, let's seize control by investigating Mellow World." Shugo decides to head home for some much-needed rest. While a blindfolded Ayana listens, Kentaro questioning his game plans. "I'll log in at 8 p.m., Shugo declares. "Meet me at the 1010 survival zone," and Kentaro eagerly accepts the rendezvous. As Shugo departs, Ayana calls out, a debt of gratitude still on her lips. Kentaro cheekily explains Shugo's hasty exit. He's just not one for thank yous, leaving Ayana puzzled. With a shrug, Kentaro philosophizes on Shugo's noble aversion to unsolicited heroism. Kentaro suggests Shugo feels guilty for involving her, but Ayana knows he was her savior. Ever the problem solver, Kentaro offers Ayana new digs, complete with a cheery thumbs up. Back home, Shugo updates Kaidi on their mother's care and drops a cryptic warning about the changing world. He sternly advises Kaede to prioritize safety, her expression betraying a flicker of unease. Shugo gently reassures his sister, promising explanations later, and Kaede readily agrees to his counsel. A warm smile graces Shugo's face, content with his sister's understanding. Announcing his need for rest, Shugo heads off, Kaede reminding him of their usual do not disturb protocol. Kaede, watching Shugo's door, wishes she could share her big brother's heavy burdens. Meanwhile, Shugo logs into Melloworld, arriving at the overgrown, ominous 102 survival zone. He stands amidst the ruins, once again struck by the hyper-realistic detail of this virtual world. Surveying the desolate landscape, Shugo knows this is far more than just a game. Kentaro and a newly avatared Ayana spot him, Kentaro enthusiastically waving him over. Shugo, visor on, joins them, ready for action as Kentaro proposes a hunt for better EXP. Kentaro points to distant mountains. Mutant beasts there. Let's rank up for smoother sailing. A confident smirk plays on Shugo's lips as he readily agrees to the dangerous expedition. The trio ventures forth, heading towards a lush yet foreboding forested mountain path. Their journey begins, but a fresh boot print and ominous splatters hint at unseen dangers ahead. Kentaro surveys the suspiciously empty hunting ground, wondering if the 100 zone suddenly got an influx of pros. Just then, a desperate cry for "Help me!" rips through the air, instantly grabbing their attention. Shugo, cool as ever, suggests they investigate the sudden plea for assistance. The unseen player's terrified scream paints a grim picture of what they might find. Peeking through the foliage, they discover a lone player surrounded by a nasty-looking group of 4. Ayana recognizes one of the bullies, but Shugo wisely advises they observe before jumping in. The lead thug gets physical, demanding the cornered player hand over his valuable equipment. The victim desperately explains his gear is soulbound, even offering real-world money to be spared. His attacker scoffs, clearly enjoying the power trip more than any bribe, finding the groveling refreshing. The thugs exchange sinister glances, callously discussing how to forcibly take the equipment, soulbound or not. One of the goons chimes in, "That's true," as a dastardly idea sparks. The victim lets out a blood-curdling "Ooh-wah!" as the thug's eyes burn with a sinister red glow. The ringleader sneers, "Don't you want to see a rich, spoiled brat who always looks down on us, being treated however we want?" His cronies roar their approval. "I want to see it! Do it!" egging him on. Licking his blade, the thug declares, "Unfortunately, this is the will of the people. You can't ignore that, can you?" With a furious die, he swings his sword, the victim's terrified little soul, Wisp, bracing for impact. But his blade meets unexpected resistance, stopping mid-air with a sharp clang! Startled, the thug leader whirls around, demanding, "Who's there?" Surprise! Shugo, cool as a cucumber, has effortlessly blocked the attack, flanked by Kentaro and Ayana. The captive player looks up in stunned disbelief. "You are..." Recognizing his unlikely rescuers, Shugo calmly states his moral line. Respawning is fine, but their current methods are just too cruel. The thug leader scoffs, "Killing is easy, but pointless if the gear vanishes." Then boasts about his swift bandit gang wanting more. "We'll take your equipment too," the gang leader declares, his eyes blazing as his cronies rally. With a unified "do it," the thugs lunge forward, weapons ready to strike down the interlopers. But Kentaro zips past, a blur of motion leaving one thug utterly bewildered by his speed. "Against punks like you?" Kentaro smirks, easily subduing a goon. "I'm more than enough." He unleashes a whirlwind of attacks, a human tornado clearing out the trash. A swift kick sends another bully flying, Kentaro's movements a dance of stylish takedowns. Kentaro lands perfectly, beaming with a triumphant strike as he finishes his flashy combo. Shugo watches Kentaro's showboating with a deadpan stare, while Ayana seems a tad overwhelmed by the display. The remaining thugs, undeterred, decide to dogpile their own leader, each claiming a body part. It's a chaotic free-for-all as the goons turn on their boss, a flurry of fists and fury. Even in chibi form, the beatdown is intense, prompting the rescued player to comically cry out for Shugo's help again. Shugo, ever so stoic, sighs with a knew-this-would-happen expression, while Ayana looks on, bewildered. Before Shugo can step in, he tells Ayana he'll handle the cleanup, quick and easy. But Ayana, finding her footing, boldly declares, "No, I'll do it," ready to prove herself. With newfound resolve, Ayana announces she might be down, but she's determined to get strong too. Suddenly, Ayana unleashes her power, summoning an ethereal arsenal through weapon manufacturing. The brawling thugs freeze, mouths agape, utterly dumbfounded by Ayana's spectacular ability. With a determined shout of "Shoot!" Ayana, blushing but fierce, unleashes her attack. A barrage of ethereal blades rains down, catching the thugs and the rescued player in a chaotic, friendly fire frenzy. The thug leader, fed up with his crew's incompetence, declares he'll handle things himself, boasting of his rock-crushing power. He roars, activating skill, Mega Muscle, and instantly bulks up to twice his size, muscles bulging. With a primal "Woo!" the now hulking brute charges, aiming a massive fist right at a startled Ayana. But Shugo appears, effortlessly catching the giant's wrist, coolly remarking, "A big guy bullying a girl isn't very gentlemanly." Shugo then casually tosses the muscle-bound leader towards Kentaro, saying, "There, I'll leave the rest to you." The thug leader, recovering quickly, glares at Kentaro, growling, "Don't underestimate me." He lunges, fist cocked back, screaming, "I'll turn you into mincemeat." A devastating punch flies towards Kentaro, who stands his ground, a mere silhouette against the force. The thug leader stares in disbelief, utterly shocked as Kentaro tanks his superpowered punch head-on. Kentaro smirks, revealing his reflection skill. Absorb, condense, and return attacks doubled. With a confident, "Try taking your own attack," Kentaro unleashes the amplified force right back at the brute. The thug leader is instantly vaporized, prompting his terrified underlings to scream, "Oh crap, run!" But their escape is cut short as unseen bonds snap into place, halting their desperate flight. Shugo, ever the pragmatist, coolly informs the now freed captive, "Go ahead, you can leave." Overcome with gratitude, the rescued player clings to Shugo's leg, comically pledging eternal loyalty, much to Shugo's chagrin. Eager to prove his sincerity, the player earnestly offers to reveal the location of the area boss. Kentaro's eyes light up, instantly recognizing the value of this unexpected intel. "Sounds good, little brother." Kentaro grins while Shugo dryly observes how easily swayed he is. Kentaro eagerly explains the boss drops tons of EXP, and the rescued player agrees they all need to rank up and gear up. Shugo coolly agrees. "I see, then guide us," as Hikaru Morioka eagerly steps up to lead. Their unlikely new ally guides the trio along a dizzying cliffside path towards the promised boss. Kentaro questions the intel, but Hikaru confidently reveals the boss's preferred hangout, a volcanic lake. Hikaru casually adds the boss is a creature of habit, so if not today, then definitely tomorrow. Shugo's sharp senses suddenly detect an unseen presence, a bead of sweat betraying the tension. He whirls around, urgently warning the group, "Someone's coming!" Over his shoulder, a squad of armored figures can be seen rapidly closing the distance on the cliff top. Their captain bellows, "At this pace, we can't catch up! Hurry!" His men struggling to keep up. One of the pursuers spots the party, prompting their captain to scoff, "Fools, do you think we can't take that path?" The enemy leader then barks the order, "Use the claws," as his soldiers prepare grappling hooks. Razor-sharp grappling claws dig deep into the unforgiving cliff face as the pursuers make their move. Like spiders, the armored soldiers descend with practiced ease, spears doubling as repelling tools. Their captain expertly plants his spear, creating a makeshift platform on the sheer rock. These mysterious assailants balance with uncanny skill on their spear shafts, defying gravity. Now arrayed before them, the enemy leader issues a chilling ultimatum, "Hand over that guy or you all die." Shugo casually indicates Hikaru, who frantically denies knowing these new enemies, desperate to escape. Kentaro observes their unusual equipment, remarking it's unlike anything near the camp, as Hikaru tries to tiptoe away. The enemy captain smirks, revealing his sinister view. From our perspective, players are prey too. With a cold command, the captain orders his troops, "Kill them all! Every last one!" His soldiers immediately open fire, unleashing a barrage from their sidearms down the cliff. Ayana, under fire, desperately calls out, "Weapon manufacturing, shield!" Her golden shield materializes instantly, deflecting the barrage from above. Hikaru, meanwhile, loudly protests the sudden and unprovoked assault. Shugo asks if she can craft offensive gear, but Ayana confesses a shield is her current limit. Glancing upwards, Shugo coolly assesses the remaining repelling assailants. "No choice then," he mutters, instructing Ayana to forge him 2 long spears. A surge of blue energy envelops Shugo as he readies himself for the incoming weapons. The newly formed spears fly upwards, one striking the cliff face with disruptive force. "First one!" rings out as the other spear impressively connects, sending an enemy soldier tumbling. Furious, the remaining attackers charge with their spears, yelling, "Kill him!" Shugo masterfully wields the twin spears, deflecting the enemy's assault in a whirlwind of motion. With a spectacular spinning attack, he sends 3 assailants plummeting from the cliff face. Undeterred, Shugo hurls another spear upwards, targeting the next wave of repelling soldiers. One terrified soldier looks up, pleading, "Don't come here!" as Shugo ascends. Too late! Shugo smirks, using his remaining spear to vault higher up the sheer rock. He unleashes a devastating sweep, shouting, "Fall down together!" as more soldiers are sent flying. A golden aura envelops Shugo. He realizes with grim satisfaction, rank up? So you rank up from killing players too. Shugo then expertly uses his spear to destabilize the cliff, creating treacherous footing for his foes. Landing gracefully on embedded spears, he faces the enemy captain, who acknowledges, "Not bad, you're quite skilled." Shugo returns a cool, confident smirk. "So you're the boss." The captain declares, "I'll finish you off while I'm at it." As Shugo lunges, spear aimed true. With a fierce expression, Shugo grips his spear, ready to dislodge the captain from his perch. The captain dodges, causing Shugo's spear to strike the cliff, while Shugo nimbly flips, using his weapon for leverage. A smirk plays on the captain's lips as his gauntlet crackles with menacing blue energy. The captain unleashes an electric blast, forcing Shugo to twist mid-air to avoid a direct hit. Shugo grimaces, a jolt of surprise and pain flashing across his face from the unexpected attack. Regaining his balance on an embedded spear, Shugo mutters in disbelief, "Electricity?" The captain boasts, "That's right, my gloves conduct electricity. No matter how strong, you can't beat it." Shugo admits the treacherous terrain saved him, musing, "But it's strange." The captain observes Shugo's movements, noting, "Those moves, you're quite strong in reality too, yet I don't know anything about you." The captain scoffs at Shugo's real-world strength, questioning if he even understands this virtual battlefield. He then drops a bombshell. "You ranked up but saw no revival light? We're not players." With a chilling declaration, the captain reveals, "We are natives," leaving Shugo stunned by the implication. "Enough small talk!" the captain roars, electricity surging as he prepares to end Shugo. Shugo nimbly dodges the captain's electrified lunge, narrowly avoiding another shocking blow. The captain taunts Shugo's retreat. "Running? I thought players didn't fear death." Shugo, however, coolly retorts, "Not in the mood today," his mind already on this new natives puzzle. Annoyed, the captain decides to cut his losses. "My comrades are gone. There's always next time." As the captain departs, Shugo contemplates the mystery. Are these natives truly part of this world, or is it just a title? The scene shifts, revealing a serene yet imposing volcanic lake nestled high in the snowy mountains, their original destination. Ayana stretches, relieved they've finally reached the summit, while Hikaru anxiously wonders about Shugo's fate. Kentaro, furious, grabs Hikaru, demanding answers about the mysterious assailants as Hikaru pleads to be let go. Just then, Shugo reappears, spear in hand, prompting a desperate cry for help from the beleaguered Hikaru. Shugo calmly intervenes, telling Kentaro his approach with Hikaru is a bit off the mark. Taking over, Shugo applies his own brand of persuasion to Hikaru, much to Kentaro and Ayana's surprise. Under Shugo's relentless pressure, Hikaru finally cracks, promising to spill everything he knows. As they stand by the serene volcanic lake, the water suddenly begins to churn ominously. Without warning, a colossal burst of icy energy erupts from the lake, stunning the entire party. From the depths, a monstrous, roaring water lion beast materializes, its form crackling with power. Hikaru, pale with terror, points frantically, exclaiming that this terrifying creature is the area's boss. With the immediate interrogation paused, sharp spikes retract from the ground near Hikaru, who's momentarily off the hook. Shugo, ever the pragmatist, brandishes his twin spears, declaring, "Let's deal with this huge cat first." The colossal water lion lets out a deafening roar, its icy form dominating the lakeside battlefield. Taking command, Shugo barks orders, "Scatter, Kentaro, defense, Ayana, support on my signal." Ayana instantly summons her golden shield, shouting, "Weapon manufacturing, shield!" as Kentaro prepares to back her up. Kentaro grits his teeth, bracing firmly behind Ayana's rapidly deployed shield as it slams into the earth. The shield flares, brilliantly reflecting an incoming watery blast from the monstrous feline. Spotting an opening, Shugo charges towards a shadowy manifestation of the beast, yelling, "Now!" He then launches himself skyward, spears poised for a devastating downward strike on the real monster. The beast glares upwards, and Shugo suddenly realizes with horror, "Oh no, I'm completely in the enemy's range. I'm done for." Kentaro, awestruck, mutters, "What an incredible guy, Shugo," as his teammate defies certain doom. Catch this! Ayana yells, expertly flinging her golden shield like a life-saving discus. Shugo lands flawlessly on the soaring shield, a grin spreading. Nice! Talk about an impromptu surfboard. Now perfectly positioned above the beast, Shugo prepares to turn this water lion into a water kitten. He strikes true, but the monster's icy hide deflects the blow, eliciting a pained coo from Shugo. The colossal beast bucks wildly, launching Shugo and his shield platform sky high. Mid-air, Shugo assesses, "No good! Its body is too big to deal a fatal blow! I need to get closer!" A sudden shift in the air makes Shugo pause. His danger sense is tingling. He glances back, a new powerful aura catching his attention. This aura? Kentaro gapes. Seriously? As Ayana, wreathed in golden light, materializes a massive sniper rifle mid-air. Ayana, now armed with a massive sniper rifle, recalls her past fears, a steely resolve hardening her expression. She remembers how even the slightest distraction once crippled her, preventing her from unleashing her true potential. But with Shugo's protection as her inspiration, Ayana is determined to conquer her fear and become a true support. Her eyes blaze with golden light as she focuses, declaring with newfound confidence, "I can see it." Through her scope, Ayana locks onto 4 critical points on the colossal beast, a triumphant, "Got it!" escaping her lips. Unleashing a barrage of golden energy, Ayana fires 4 precise shots, each one a testament to her awakened skill. The water lion roars in agony as the blasts strike true, icy shards exploding from its massive form. Struck by the powerful volley, the once mighty beast begins to falter, its form sinking into the churning water. Ayana, kneeling in the snow, exhales in disbelief and relief, whispering, "We did it." Shugo flashes a thumbs up. "Nice. All 4 shots hit. Leaving long range to you was the right call." As Ayana looks on, slightly stunned by the praise. Ayana, flattered by Shugo's compliment, tucks her hair back with a shy smile. Suddenly, a radiant golden glow envelops the trio, signaling a massive experience boost for all. Shugo smirks, realizing he's ranked up again. This boss was a serious EXP piñata. Hikaru bursts from the water, ecstatic, revealing the beast was an S-rank target worth a fortune in coins and gear. Kentaro looks on, slightly bewildered, as Hikaru declares he's fearless with Shugo around, a complete 180 from before. Kentaro's gaze shifts to Hikaru, who's now standing triumphantly on the defeated monster's remains. Hikaru, hand dripping with something dark, thanks them, cryptically adding he completed his mission too. Before anyone can react, shadowy spikes erupt from the defeated beast, skewering a stunned Hikaru. Hikaru screams in agony, impaled through his chest as the beast makes its horrifying final move. Pure terror fills Hikaru's eyes as he realizes his fatal miscalculation. Hikaru screams, enveloped in a sinister red aura as Kentaro watches helplessly from the water. The dark energy solidifies, revealing Hikaru now encased in ominous crimson armor, his face hidden. Kentaro, still in the water, gawks at the transformed Hikaru, demanding, "That armor, what is it?" Before Kentaro can process, the armored Hikaru explodes from the water, sending him flying with a powerful kick. Now on land, the armored Hikaru, eyes glowing menacingly, faces the shocked party as Kentaro yells, "Have you lost your mind?" "Sorry," Hikaru stammers, red eyes wide with panic. "The armor, it's controlling me. It's telling me to kill everyone." Shugo confronts him, disappointment clear. "You called me big brother but never told me the truth?" While Hikaru cries, "I had no choice." Shugo's suspicion grows. Were those guys earlier targeting you? And is that really armor? As Kentaro realizes Hikaru's secrets run deep. Hikaru, visibly fighting an internal battle, desperately insists, "No, but I really can't say. Also." With a final, anguished shout of, "I'm at my limit," the possessed Hikaru lunges towards the horrified onlookers. As Hikaru attacks, Shugo swiftly evades, grabbing Ayana while Kentaro tumbles away. Shugo, cool as ever, holds Ayana protectively, narrowly avoiding the possessed onslaught. Safely on land, Ayana asks for a plan, and Shugo, ever confident, declares, "I'll probe into it." The crimson-clad Hikaru, eyes blazing, rushes Shugo with a furious, uncontrolled roar. Shugo effortlessly blocks Hikaru's armored punch with a well-placed stomp. Talk about a counter. With a swift, powerful kick, Shugo sends the armored Hikaru reeling. Shugo smirks, eyes glowing faintly. "Not bad. Got some moves even if they're not your own?" Hikaru, pinned, desperately cries, "No! This armor is moving me! I can't stop it!" Shugo's expression hardens. "Armor controlling you? That alone isn't enough of an excuse, right? Landing a clean hit, Shugo sends Hikaru flying, shouting, "There's no armor on your face!" Kentaro, wincing, realizes his digitized body still needs time to heal. That last hit was no joke. Facing the crimson-clad Hikaru, Kentaro grimly wonders, how do we even begin to fight that? The possessed Hikaru lunges, a blur of red fury, straight for the still-recovering Kentaro. Shugo, ever the protector, slams Ayana's golden shield down, intercepting Hikaru's devastating punch just in time. Shugo barks orders at Ayana. "Himikawa, impact round to his chest. Stop him, even if it means, well, you know." Hikaru, through the armor's influence, retorts with surprising coherence, "You should be talking to me." Kentaro, confused by Hikaru's outburst, looks back at Shugo and Ayana, asking, "Who's he even talking to?" The armored Hikaru screams in agony, "The boss's power is too much. If I don't burn it off, I'll explode." Kentaro, bracing against the shield with all his might, grits out, "I'm at my limit," as the pressure mounts. With a deafening crack, the golden shield shatters, sending both Kentaro and the armored Hikaru flying from the shockwave. Shugo, ever the tactician, barks, "Himikawa, now!" And Ayana, ever reliable, confirms, "Roger." Ayana unleashes another blindingly powerful golden shot, straight from her upgraded arsenal. The crimson-clad Hikaru takes the hit dead center, the impact flaring brightly on his chest. Shugo charges, yelling for Ayana to keep firing, aiming to drain that cursed armor's power. Kentaro, ever the worrier, voices his concern, "But Shugo, with those injuries." Shugo, brushing off the concern with a determined glare, declares, "No time for that. Even if I fall, it's worth the shot." Shugo unleashes a rapid-fire barrage of electrifying blows, hammering the armored Hikaru. Hikaru's eyes widen, a flicker of his true self showing through the pain as Shugo's assault connects. With a predatory grin, Shugo grabs Hikaru by the legs, clearly planning a spectacular takedown. Shugo unleashes his invincible great wheel, spinning Hikaru into a dizzying, earth-shattering vortex. Kentaro and Ayana watch in awe, Kentaro admitting Shugo's move was quite flashy, while Ayana simply calls it amazing. The invincible great wheel culminates in a colossal explosion, rocking the very ground they stand on. Kentaro anxiously asks if they got him, but Ayana, ever vigilant, declares, "No, not yet." Suddenly, a crimson spinning disc, Hikaru, rockets out from the dust cloud right towards them. The Hikaru disc crashes and skids across the terrain, a blur of uncontrolled crimson energy. Both Hikaru, armor still intact, and Shugo lie sprawled on the ground, the aftermath of the massive attack. Shugo sits up, looking at his own leg with a grimace. His body is glitching, a sign of critical damage. Kentaro supports the injured Shugo, remarking on the recklessness of a move that harms even the user, a luxury only a game affords. Ayana, now brandishing a massive rifle, takes aim at the downed Hikaru, shouting, "Wait!" With steely determination in her eyes, Ayana issues an ultimatum. "If you don't tell the truth, I'll shoot." Hikaru, surprisingly lucid, raises his hands, ready to spill the beans. "I'll speak first." The trio stares, utterly flabbergasted by Hikaru's sudden change of tune. Just then, a radiant, elf-like figure materializes, a golden aura heralding her arrival as Hikaru watches. The mysterious woman introduces herself as Yura, graciously thanking them for her rescue. Shugo, ever the charmer, cheekily asks, "So what's the deal? And can you thank me specifically?" Yura reveals the shocking truth. The previous attackers were after her all along, seeking a power she possesses. As the party stares intently, Yura, noticing their chibi-fied curiosity, snaps, "What are you looking at?" She then unveils a glowing red jewel embedded in her chest, declaring, "Their target is this jewel." Yura cryptically adds that this is merely the surface, then drops a bombshell. "You've probably noticed, but I'm a native, an NPC." Kentaro marvels at the game's sophisticated NPCs, musing how it blurs the line with reality itself. Yura declares that to her people, they are living humans, not just NPCs, and surprisingly similar to the players. Shugo, intrigued, asks for clarification, and Yura explains players gain experience by defeating NPCs. Yura then drops a bombshell. NPCs can absorb awakening fragments from defeated players to grow stronger, revealing a two-tiered society of ordinary and awakened ones. She paints a picture of their world. Ordinary folk toil for survival, while the awakened wield power freely. Yura recounts a grim history. Peace shattered when awakened ones discovered they could steal abilities from each other, changing everything. This lust for power led to endless conflict, Yura explains, and NPCs need vast time to grow, until players appeared. Kentaro pieces it together. So these awakened ones are hunting us players, Yura confirms, calling them natural-born awakened ones. Yura chillingly adds that since players can revive, NPCs can repeatedly defeat them to gain power. The arrival of players united the warring awakened ones, Yura reveals. Now they scheme to trap players using their immortality. Kentaro groans about being exploited in reality, and the game then cuts to the chase. But why are you being hunted, Yura? Yura clarifies to Kentaro that her jewel's value is unique, admitting she wasn't born an awakened one. She reveals her father's research created the jewel, curing her childhood weakness and granting her the armorization ability. Kentaro connects the dots. The villains want her jewel for research, then asks why she's on the run. With clenched fists, Yura confesses they eliminated her father for the jewel and now she's their next target. Yura states Hikaru saved her life, then reveals her unique power-up method, consuming the essence of the strong, and requests their aid for revenge. Intrigued by Yura's offer of a special secret, Kentaro leans in, eager to know more. Kneeling, Yura delivers a cryptic message. Under God's instruction, everything will be pacified in 7 days. A chibi Kentaro, surrounded by question marks, perfectly illustrates the group's collective bewilderment. Yura confesses ignorance of its meaning, only that her father's letter stressed its importance to the truth of the world. Kentaro, scratching his head, wonders aloud if this foretells some catastrophic natural disaster. Shugo scoffs. If it were just a disaster, it wouldn't be tied to the truth of the world so seriously, while Kentaro ponders if it's some ritual. Yura admits, "It's possible, but I can't say for certain," her expression troubled. Shugo sighs, dismissing further guesswork. Anyway, without enough clues, it's just speculation. Suddenly, Yura drops to her knees, exclaiming, "I know I'm being presumptuous, but I have no choice." Bowing low, Yura implores them, "Please attack our base and obtain my father's research materials." She reveals, "The people from the 7 great bases killed my father," hinting at a dark secret as Kentaro demands, "Tell me more." Yura then lists the 7 domains: forest, swamp, valley, grassland, snow mountain, rainforest, and desert. "I belong to the forest base," she declares, "and only I know the password to my father's secret lab there." But Shugo, ever the pragmatist, lets out a breath and states, "Sorry, but I can't cooperate." He elaborates, looking down, "I understood from fighting earlier. Everyone targeting you is strong." Shugo explains their cliffside battle offered a mobility edge they wouldn't have at a base. He bluntly tells Yura that a direct assault is a losing game, as their foes only get stronger with each player revival. From the background, Hikaru chimes in, advising them to lay low and avoid drawing attention. But then Hikaru dramatically prostrates himself, begging Shugo to help Yura if he can secure a safe path. Yura gazes at Hikaru, her eyes glistening with emotion at his desperate plea. Ayana, ever direct, questions Hikaru's sudden devotion, to which he confesses he's fallen for Yura. Hikaru, fired up, vows that despite his own weakness, he'll act as their unwavering shield. He passionately declares he'll protect Yura with his life, leaving the chibified group utterly stunned. Kentaro, flustered, points out their hesitation makes them look cold, then frets over Yura being just an NPC. Kentaro finally asks, "Should we do it?" Ayana grins, and Shugo, ever cool, simply states, "No objections." Shugo, addressing Yura, acknowledges Hikaru's bold declaration with a slight hesitation. Yura, seizing the moment, sweetens the deal. "Legendary equipment awaits in the lab. It's all yours." The mention of legendary gear instantly piques their interest. Shugo smirks. "A mission this good? We're in." With the decision made, the vast, starry expanse signals a night of rest before their new quest. Around a crackling campfire, Hikaru and Yura sit together while Kentaro catches some sleep nearby. Shugo finds a solitary spot, gazing at the breathtaking celestial display over a serene mountain lake. Ayana approaches Shugo under the starlit sky, asking to join him, to which he coolly agrees. Ayana astutely observes, "You intended to help Hikaru all along, didn't you? He never mentioned the armor despite his pain." Shugo admits Hikaru's unwavering resolve for Yura earned his respect, acknowledging him as a true little brother. Grinning, Shugo adds it's also a prime opportunity to uncover more about this world, suspecting Kentaro feels likewise. Ayana, ever perceptive, tells Shugo not to shoulder all the burdens, noting his tendency to go it alone. She gently reminds him he's got a team now, urging him to lean on them. With a good night, Ayana leaves Shugo to his thoughts under the starry sky. Shugo watches her go, Ayana's words clearly striking a chord with the stoic swordsman. Dawn breaks, and a comically struggling Chibi Hikaru, with duplicates, attempts to move a massive boulder. Here it is! Hikaru triumphantly reveals a hidden passage behind the displaced rock to the others. Kentaro, eyes blazing, immediately grills Hikaru, "Why do all your shortcuts scream danger zone?" Hikaru explains his shadow skill and solo mountain scouting led him to these secret routes, a menacing winged serpent soaring overhead. The group looks on with newfound understanding, Kentaro muttering, "Man, you've really been through it?" A Chibi Hikaru beams, boasting, "When it comes to escaping, I'm number one," leaving the others to wonder if that's a good thing. Hikaru, gritting his teeth, strains with all his might against the massive rock. The boulder groans and shifts, revealing a narrow, dark crevice as the others watch. Shugo peers into the gloomy passage, his expression a perfect blend of doubt and, "You've got to be kidding me." "This really goes to the foot of the mountain?" Shugo asks, while Hikaru insists this secret crevice is unknown to anyone else. Hikaru confidently points, explaining the forest base is at the mountain's foot, and this is their exclusive entry point. As they squeeze through the tight passage, Shugo warns Hikaru, "If you're lying, I won't forgive you." But Hikaru just smiles. "We're here!" Hikaru announces, as Shugo spots a crudely made wooden door at the end of the tunnel. Ayana, blushing, hears an odd sound from beyond the door, while Shugo, ever decisive, simply states, "Let's go." With a mighty kick, Shugo blasts the wooden door clean off its hinges, splinters flying everywhere. The door shatters to reveal a rather surprised individual in a very private moment, caught completely unawares. The unfortunate man, caught pants down quite literally, screeches, "Intruders!" His glasses askew from the shock, he can only stare as Ayana peeks through the ruined doorway. Ayana, blushing furiously, mutters, "Huh? I definitely heard a shriek just now." After a swift takedown, Kentaro breathes, "That was close," while Shugo sarcastically laments their awful illegal entry. Yura, already focused on the mission, looks out a window. "First, we need to get our bearings." They find themselves in a building overlooking a peaceful village, the forest base. Dominating the entire landscape is an impossibly colossal tree, its branches forming a canopy city. "There it is!" Yura exclaims, pointing high up the massive trunk. "My father's lab is in that wooden tower!" A closer look reveals the tower is heavily guarded, with sentries patrolling its spiraling walkways. Shugo, unfazed, simply notes, "Doesn't look like they're rolling out the welcome mat for us." With their unwilling host subdued, Shugo declares they'll make their move under the cover of darkness. Night falls, and vigilant guards patrol the spiraling walkways leading to Yura's father's lab. "Hello there!" Hikaru casually greets a startled guard, dropping in from above like a shadowy acrobat. The poor sentry can only stammer in disbelief, completely caught off guard by the inverted intruder. With a cheeky "good night," Hikaru delivers a swift chop, sending the guard into dreamland. Hikaru, ever the efficient infiltrator, urges the team forward past a growing collection of snoozing sentries. The squad dashes up the winding path, shadows stretching long under the starry night sky. Uh-oh, mysterious glowing red orbs on the wall suddenly flare to life, sensing their presence. "Oh no, the security system has activated!" Yura panics. "They'll come to capture us right away!" Shugo, ever focused, presses Yura. "How much further to the secret room?" As she points. "Almost there." It's ahead. Just as they near their goal, armed guards emerge, shouting, "Stop, or we'll kill you!" Ayana bravely steps forward, telling the others, "Leave this to me and go ahead." The guards don't hesitate, unleashing a hail of projectiles as their commander yells, "Shoot!" Unfazed, Ayana conjures a massive iron shield, effortlessly deflecting the incoming attack. Yura voices her concern for Ayana, but Shugo confidently states, "She's already overcome her trauma. The current Himikawa is equivalent to a whole division." Shugo urges Yura onward. "Let's leave this to her and hurry ahead. We're going to uncover the truth of this game. Let's go!" Watching her team advance, Ayana steels her resolve. "They're gone! I'm going to do this!" With a fierce cry, Ayana unleashes her power. "Valkyrie, activate!" A spectral, multi-gun wielding warrior materializes behind her. Ayana and her Valkyrie become a whirlwind of action, taking on the guards with overwhelming force. As the dust settles on the subdued guards, a menacing new figure emerges from the smoke, taunting, "Do I have to come out myself again, you scum?" The remaining guards, battered but alive, look up in relief. Captain!" Ayana, undeterred, faces the imposing shadowy silhouette, demanding, "Who are you?" Not waiting for pleasantries, Ayana unleashes a hail of bullets. Well, whoever you are! The mysterious captain moves like a phantom, Ayana's shots passing harmlessly through the air. Ayana gasps in disbelief as blue lightning crackles around the captain. She dodged! No way! Before Ayana can react, a shadowy hand closes around her throat with lightning speed. The captain, holding Ayana effortlessly, coldly announces, "First one down!" Elsewhere, Shugo's team reaches a solid wall, their expressions a mix of confusion and dismay. This is... Shugo stares at the blank expanse, exclaiming in frustration, "A dead end?" Kentaro turns to Yura. "Hey, seriously?" But she insists, "This is definitely the place," as Hikaru observes. Yura, with a determined grunt, presses against the seemingly solid wall, searching for the hidden mechanism. A holographic keypad shimmers into existence, prompting Shugo to quip, "I see, so it's this type. Your father was a genius." "Leave it to me," Yura declares, confidently stepping up to interface with the high-tech lock. But her first attempt fails spectacularly. "Password incorrect, activating defense program," flashes the angry red screen. Suddenly, twin automated gun turrets deploy from hidden panels, taking aim at the intruders. Kentaro and Hikaru freeze in terror, with Kentaro already bidding Yura a dramatic farewell. "Let's be together in the next life, too." Shugo, however, isn't about to let some automated defenses end their quest, launching a devastating kick at one of the turrets. With one turret disabled, Shugo barks, "Don't just stand there!" jolting Kentaro and Hikaru into action. An unexpected development off-screen leaves Shugo and Yura bewildered. "What's happening?" Shugo demands, but Yura has no answers. Undeterred, Yura returns to the keypad, sweat beading on her brow. "Give me a little more time. I'll definitely open it." Yura's third password attempt triggers a firepower defense mode. This is not going well. As if on cue, even more turrets emerge, making Kentaro and Hikaru scream in unison, "They increased?" Shugo, ever the action hero, smashes another turret while Yura panics about the password. Defeated, Yura collapses, sighing, "It's hopeless now," as the situation looks grim. But wait, a fingerprint scan suddenly grants access. "Welcome home, master." Yura's eyes widen in stunned realization, a light bulb moment. "Oh, right," Yura sheepishly admits to the bewildered team. "Fingerprint authentication. I could do that." With a smooth hiss, the dead end slides open, revealing a hidden passage. Shugo, eyes gleaming with anticipation, grins. "Let's go! Time to uncover what secrets her father left behind." The team steps into a brightly lit high-tech chamber, their faces a mixture of awe and uncertainty. The team steps into a veritable treasure trove, a high-tech armory displaying an arsenal of glowing gear. Kentaro's eyes pop, already calculating the fortune this rare equipment would fetch, enough to throw society into chaos. Hikaru, ever the connoisseur, spots 3 pieces of unique equipment, already claiming a cat-eared helmet. Yura graciously thanks them, clarifying she only needs the specific materials her father left behind. Her gaze locks onto a particular cat-eared helmet, clearly the item she's been searching for. The moment Yura touches the helmet, a brilliant surge of energy envelops her. "This is..." Hikaru and Kentaro freak out. "Yura, are you okay? Should we go to the hospital?" Shugo, with zero patience for hysterics, delivers a swift, "Shut up," to an overly dramatic teammate. Holding a glowing box, Yura confirms to Shugo she found what she needed, while Kentaro nurses his head. "Yes," Yura reveals. "That armor was my father's legacy. My abilities have increased dramatically." Yura, empowered, reveals the box contains writings about God, and Shugo's all ears. She explains the 7 great bases once received a divine revelation, a real game changer. This prophecy spoke of immortal beings arriving, promising both chaos and golden opportunities. Simultaneously, awakened ones and mutated beasts started popping up all over their world. With great power came great conflict, as the bases began to clash fiercely. Then came a second chilling revelation. Eliminate the immortal ones no matter the cost. Yura recounts how the initially weak immortals were underestimated, but defying the divine order led to dire consequences. Those who disobeyed suffered a horrific affliction, forcing everyone else to toe the line, with a 7-day countdown now active. Kentaro scoffs at the revelations, but Shugo hints he's missing a crucial piece of the puzzle. Shugo drops a bomb. NPCs can also defeat players for EXP, and the stronger the foe, the slimmer the rewards. Kentaro spells it out. If players hunt in the real world for cash, the real world will become hell. Hikaru, ever the cool cat, just asks, What are you talking about? As Shugo listens intently. Suddenly, armed figures flood the doorway, led by a shadowy commander. Well, this is beyond expectations. The commander, a smirking man with striking features, taunts them. What? Not running away anymore, you rats? Yura recognizes him, Captain Rubik, and pleads, My father has already passed away. Won't you let this go even now? Rubik sneers. Let it go? Your father hid the materials. Traitors deserve only death. Be grateful you can at least die. Shugo coolly reminds Rubik, This isn't our first meeting, is it? We're players. In contrast, you die permanently. Kentaro tries a different tack. There's no need to fight that hard, right? If you let us go, we'll owe you one? Rubik scoffs. How naive. It's not just because that traitor is here. We were planning to kill you anyway. Rubik's eyes gleam with ambition. You're strong, right? If I kill you, I'll definitely rank up. Shugo, standing beside Yura, coolly observes, So there's no room for negotiation. Rubik, with a vicious grin, commands his troops to open fire. Do it! Kentaro and Hikaru, alongside Yura's silhouette, conjure shimmering energy barriers for defense. Shugo artfully dodges incoming fire, admitting that while his senses are sharp, a rapid barrage is still a threat. Realizing the key to Yura's safety, Shugo targets Rubik directly. I need to take out the leader first. With a determined roar, Shugo charges, fist cocked for a decisive blow. Rubik meets the charge with a confident smirk, ready to counter Shugo's assault. Their fists connect with explosive force, a shockwave rippling from the impact. But Rubik reveals a hidden trick. A wicked blade extends from his gauntlet, aimed at Shugo. The cruel blade finds its mark, tearing into Shugo's arm as he cries out in pain. Despite the gash, Shugo grits his teeth, knowing Yura's life depends on his endurance. Rubik, caught off guard by Shugo's resilience, exclaims, What? As he's launched upwards. Shugo, ignoring his wound, delivers a devastating kick right into Rubik's gut. The captain goes flying, bowling over his own surprised soldiers like pins. But Shugo's victory is short-lived. He turns to see Yura, now suspended helplessly in a glowing containment tube. Rubik, recovering quickly, smirks from afar. How's that? Panicked yet, player? Nice try, Rubik sneers. We can't kill immortal beings, but we can tie you up. Now you can't revive. Kentaro and Hikaru exchange worried glances. If that's true, their biggest advantage is gone. Rubik, looking a little worse for wear himself, suggests, We took some damage too. Let's both withdraw here. Well, hand over the traitor, woman, and we'll let you go, Rubik proposes with a sinister grin. It's a fair trade, right? Shugo scoffs, declaring he'd never abandon his companions, much to Kentaro's admiration. Rubik, unimpressed, retorts, Too bad. You weren't a wise man after all. With a sharp command, Do it, Rubik unleashes his soldiers in a fresh volley of fire. Shugo cries out, riddled with impacts as the enemy barrage connects. Rubik smirks, disappointed. Is it over already? Boring. I thought I could enjoy this more. The captain then redirects his forces with a chilling order. Shoot that woman dead! Kentaro and Hikaru desperately maintain a large, shimmering shield, protecting the contained Yura. Hikaru grits his teeth, sweat pouring, admitting, I'm at my limit. With a deafening shatter, Hikaru's barrier breaks, sending him flying. Kentaro clutches his head in despair. It's all over, as Yura watches, aghast. But Shugo, bloodied hand on the floor, declares, It's still too early to give up. He spots a spear, ordering a reluctant Kentaro. Bring me that spear, I have a plan. Shugo's eyes glow menacingly. Don't worry. At most you'll die once. But if you refuse, I'll make you regret coming to this world. Forcing Kentaro's terrified agreement. Kentaro, spurred by fear, dashes desperately towards the gleaming spear. With a surge of adrenaline, Kentaro snatches the spear, his expression a mix of terror and resolve. Kentaro, with a surprisingly triumphant grin, exclaims, I did it! He hurls the spear towards Shugo, who acknowledges him with a surprising big brother. Shugo deftly catches the spear, his focus unwavering despite the chaos. Just then, Kentaro is riddled with enemy fire, crying out as he's hit. Shugo watches Kentaro's form dematerialize into a containment tube, musing, So when you die underground, you go to the respawn point like this. Feels kinda strange. Rubik scoffs. You'd rather die than be captured? What a disappointment. And the experience points are only this much too. Undeterred, Rubik barks at his soldiers, Shoot! Let's see how much experience we can get! Their bullets slam into a newly formed rock barricade, shattering parts of it. Behind the makeshift cover, Shugo tells Yura, The enemy's firepower is too high. What should we do? With a determined glint, Shugo declares, "Leave it to me," and springs into action, spear in hand. He slams the spear into the cavern wall, a bright light erupting from the point of impact. The wall shatters, revealing a shimmering blue portal, an unexpected escape route. Rubik stares in disbelief, shouting, "What are you planning to do?" Shugo smirks at a stunned Yura. "You can become armor so you won't die that easily, right?" Before Yura can protest further, Shugo hurls her through the portal, yelling, "Come find me later!" as she cries out. With Yura safe, Shugo takes the full brunt of the enemy's attack, riddled with impacts. Rubik looms over a now contained Shugo, sneering, "You let the traitor escape! Don't worry, I won't kill you two. If we capture you, they'll come from over there." But Shugo, ever defiant, offers a cryptic "thanks" from within his prison. A bewildered Rubik can only stammer, "Huh?" clearly not expecting gratitude. "Thanks for giving me a chance to counterattack," Shugo declares, shattering his containment and delivering a swift kick. Rubik goes flying again, crashing near his bewildered troops and Kentaro's tube. "Impossible!" Rubik yells. "After all those hits, how can you still move?" His soldiers can only gasp. "Monster!" Shugo stands tall, his tattered clothes and glowing eyes painting a truly intimidating picture. Suddenly, Shugo finds himself in a sunlit forest, a mysterious blue panel hovering beside him. He lets out a weary sigh, but his gaze remains fixed, already plotting his next move. Shugo, ever the opportunist, finds his next target in the tranquil forest, a rather unfortunate wild boar. He springs forward with a predatory grin, ready to test his limits on this unsuspecting creature. A lightning-fast kick connects, sending the boar spiraling spectacularly into a sturdy tree. Shugo flashes a smug look. Clearly, he's enjoying this little warm-up. He lands another precise blow, demonstrating his overwhelming superiority against the forest dweller. Suddenly, a colossal, shadowy figure erupts around him, letting out a silent, powerful roar. This imposing silhouette, a manifestation of raw power, towers over Shugo, who seems intrigued. The scene shifts to a blissful hot spring, where Shugo feels infinite power coursing through his completely restored body. "This is the best," he declares with a confident smirk, his eyes gleaming with newfound energy. As long as he can take it, his strength, speed, and recovery are now rapidly amplifying to astonishing levels. Shugo smirks, realizing his newfound power is almost frightening, and decides it's best kept as a secret weapon. Back in the cavern, Shugo stretches dramatically, declaring it's time to level up before the glowing portal. His eyes blaze with intensity as he gives the enemy soldiers a chilling ultimatum: flee or face the consequences. Rubik, ever the skeptic, scoffs at the warning, ordering his troops, "It's a bluff! Don't falter! Shoot!" The soldiers unleash another volley, bullets ripping through the air towards their target. Shugo, with a sigh, ponders why these NPCs are so eager for a beatdown, questioning their self-preservation. In a blur of motion, Shugo stands unfazed as projectiles whiz harmlessly past him. Rubik stares in disbelief. "He disappeared! Where is he? Search for him!" Shugo materializes before a soldier, fist cocked, announcing a power-up with a confident grin. With a single devastating blow, Shugo sends multiple soldiers soaring through the air, utterly outmatched. A lone soldier spots a supposed opening, lunging at an unconcerned Shugo. Shugo effortlessly sidesteps the attack, coolly advising the soldier to speed up. The soldier's face freezes in a mask of pure, unadulterated shock. Suddenly, heavy chains shoot from the floor, ensnaring Shugo, who merely raises an eyebrow. Rubik emerges, smugly announcing he's disarmed the trap, confident Shugo can't destroy the entire room. Shugo, with a knowing smirk, simply retorts, "Why not?" An incredible aura erupts around Shugo as he begins to power up, the chains straining under the pressure. Rubik's confidence evaporates, replaced by enraged disbelief as he shouts, "That's impossible!" With glowing eyes and a terrifying grin, Shugo declares he'll show them what real power is. The chains binding Shugo begin to glow and contort, forming an intricate star-like pattern under immense force. Rubik's jaw drops, his composure utterly shattered by Shugo's impossible feat. "How did you break free?" Rubik demands, staring at the remnants of his supposedly unbreakable chains. Frantically searching, Rubik wonders where his target vanished, oblivious to a soldier's cry in the distance. His gaze lands on Shugo, standing calmly amidst a pile of incapacitated soldiers. With glowing crimson eyes and a chilling smirk, Shugo coolly informs Rubik, "You're next." A spark of understanding ignites in Rubik's eyes as he pieces together the unbelievable. "You didn't just use brute force!" Rubik exclaims, Realizing Shugo dislocated his entire body to slip the chains, Shugo confirms it with a cocky grin, boasting his healing factor makes even a broken neck a minor inconvenience, a world premiere of his resilience. "I'll end you and save Himekawa," Shugo declares, launching himself at Rubik with blinding speed. Terror contorts Rubik's face as he stammers, "Monster," completely overwhelmed by Shugo's onslaught. Rubik hits the deck as Kentaro makes a desperate dash for Himekawa's containment unit, a soldier shouting in alarm. Kentaro, ruthless as ever, sends a guard flying with a swift kick, determined to reach his objective. Shugo intercepts Kentaro mid-stride with a powerful kick, questioning his foe's use of human shields. Kentaro, ever the villain, smirks, callously admitting he'll sacrifice anyone to achieve his goals. Shugo, ignoring Kentaro for now, smashes Himekawa's tube with a single punch, freeing her. Himekawa, finally free, looks up at Shugo with wide eyes, exclaiming, "Shugo! Haven't you gotten bigger?" Shugo, ever cool, reassures Himekawa and cheekily suggests they farm some experience points since escape is off the table. Kentaro, scrambling to his feet, barks orders at his remaining troops as he makes a tactical retreat. Pointing dramatically, Kentaro commands his soldiers to open fire, screaming, "Kill them all!" The remaining soldiers unleash a hail of bullets, blindly following their captain's frantic orders. Kentaro spots a distant glow, mockingly questioning if his targets actually perished from that barrage. He then casually asks his remaining soldier if anyone managed to snag experience points from the encounter. One soldier eagerly raises his hand, proudly announcing, "I did!" His victory deflates as a mere 200 EXP for 2 targets eliminated appears, making him question the reward system. Kentaro, ignoring the EXP debacle, gazes at a distant phenomenon, pondering Yura's discoveries about their lord's plans. The scene abruptly shifts, revealing the exterior of a sleek, modern-looking facility under a clear sky. Inside, Shugo, now with white hair, revives in a futuristic chair, dryly noting that dying isn't exactly a spa day. He approaches 2 figures, a man and a woman, casually asking why they're wearing such grim expressions. The dark-haired man grabs Shugo, frantically reminding him of the critical Lord's revelation. He reveals the dire news. In 7 days, all bases will turn hostile and the current players are woefully unprepared. The man despairs, predicting a bloodbath as players unable to rank up turn on each other. The woman gasps, "You're kidding, right?" as Shugo mentions awakened players in the real world. He laments that when money's involved, reason vanishes, and the real world will descend into chaos. She tries to calm him. "Don't be so pessimistic." But he's already convinced the world is doomed. The woman stares, startled, as Shugo coolly strolls past the meltdown. With a swift kick, Shugo sends the panicking man flying, clearly having no time for hysterics. As the man sails through the air, the woman yelps, "Hawawa, let's talk it out!" The man, now a teary mess on the floor, whimpers, "Shugo, are you planning to kill me?" Shugo scoffs. What a pathetic person in charge. What good is having such a weak heart? Changing his tune, Shugo offers a glimmer of hope. There will be another chance, and the man eagerly asks for details. Shugo lays out the bleak reality. Players stand almost no chance against the 7 great bases, but the woman sees a silver lining in good gear. The man, still shaken, questions if they can truly level up smoothly in a game that feels terrifyingly real. Shugo, ever the strategist, coolly states their mission: rank up fast and snag that rare loot. He then drops a bombshell. Yura, daughter of the forest base's former top dog, is rescued and has a rendezvous point. With Yura's connections, Shugo grins. They'll be swimming in gear and powering up in no time. A spark of hope ignites in the man. Their new plan is to rally allies and postpone the impending doom. The man frets about their meager forces and skeptical superiors, but Shugo casually reminds him, "You're forgetting someone." Utterly bewildered, the man can only ask, "Who?" Shugo, with a knowing smirk, drops a name, Morioka Hikaru, because in the real world, cash is king.